Episode D is fun. I hope you will complete it for the other because it contains many strange and exciting news and also interesting comments. We start with Ahmed Arafat, who wrote that nuns' schools are the best schools in Egypt, and they produce generations together with love and goodness towards them, and published this video that we will see now. Let's watch the video and then continue.
Drunkenness is for the arrogant anywhere. You have everything we learned. Don't forget honesty in work, in speaking and everything, and we also love those around us. Why not between us? Every year we talk about him. He looks like a journalist if he were. You are leaven in the dough, I mean yeast in dough. Surely there are people who know, to the eye of his seal, the one who makes it useful. Will it be after that at all? Each unit among you has a role in society that will remain present in you, whether from lessons at university. This, God willing, wherever we are, will reach him for the rest of his life. Your place will remain in your home in a language that you will not come to cry in Al-Marghani.
On the other hand, Karim Jahin wrote to secure its people from terrorist attacks in the footsteps of Gaza and Rafah, Israel, on its way to annexing southern Lebanon, all under Arab law. Khamenei wrote that Hezbollah will not be defeated by assassinating its leaders, and Iran will not change. Her policy, Eddie Cohen, Books Wanted Front Attribution. A party that fought the battle to assign Gaza immediate work requires that it not be penetrated, possess an arsenal and accurate missiles, and is ready to commit suicide and bear the ruin of its country. The reward is classified as resistance. Also Counselor Ahmed Abdo Maher. He wrote that the well of Zamzam was closed, the number of Iblis, and enough is enough for you, out of contempt for the minds of Muslims. For 400 years, a paralyzed person has not drunk. From the well of Zamzam, and God healed her, and no blind man drank in sight, but rather we all drank, and we call on the Jews and Christians, while we find them advancing and spoiling. So where is the proof of your statement, what you drink is what you drink? You help people to disbelieve in all the hadith of the Messenger of God. Also, Dr. Khaled Montaser, the publisher of this post, and this news is from Cairo 24 in the National Bank of Egypt. A pharmacist complains about the intransigence of an employee from the National Bank of Egypt. What remains? Her complaint? She said, I am determined to take off my niqab in the middle of the bank. The employee wants to make sure that the person she talks to is strong. So she took off her niqab in the middle of the bank, and Dr. Khaled commented on the picture, and they also wrote that she was very surprised. In the comments, Dr. Khaled Montaser wrote, Is this what is missing? The employee wants you to see something else. Oh, the shame of the tattoo. Ahmed responded to Dr. Khaled, Do I have personal freedom as we agreed? Is everyone free? The employee has the right to see her face to confirm identity. You can check it in any closed office. Then she carries out her transaction. Dr. Khaled responded to him and said to him, What is the office closed, Hajj? Because it appeared in her brain, she explored and walked the universe according to her mood. She means that if she lost this conviction in front of the employee, the men in the bank would fall into strife. Rehab wrote, Not a closed office, necessary in front of cameras. The subject does not need exceptions. She will raise this item again and come back to recreate herself again with a little comfort. A writer tells you personal freedom. Okay, when your personal freedom is affected by everything else, does it also remain personal freedom? This committed? No, it is not personal freedom. This is the concealment of personality, the beauty of books. the disaster would be if this employee were. Christianity, God forbid, Dr. Khaled told him at length. Surely she was creating sedition. A holiday, you wrote, Khaled. I told you 1,000 times that everything you publish daily is individual events that can happen from anyone, anywhere, like crimes like this. I mean, something is possible, but it is not the rule. But your insistence on hunting remains. Is it your habit, or will you buy it? Dr. Khaled responded to him and said to him, You don't know that I am a hunter until now. Nice, he wrote back. We're going up. Do you know why? Because hiding identity is a crime. To live with us, we need to see suspicion. We won't wait for criticism. Are you afraid of committing a crime and running away, and we don't know how to infer its features? Samia wrote, Well, this is what happens when he steals it from shops with niqab. A man enters his dinner in the syndicate, and they kidnap children while they are also wearing an Eid syndicate. Reply, I am not convinced of the hypothesis of the niqab or not. Gentlemen, my words are addressed to Khaled. He's victorious. It adopts individual events that can happen, as I said, at any time and anywhere. Then he wears Islamic stamps, despite the presence of veiled models, and even veiled ones, who have more knowledge and culture than Dr. Khaled, who left his work in any Suez Canal to stare only at social media pages, searching for individuals with his behavior and extremist thought. Oh, peace be upon him. If he were a man or a specific woman, he would have had dinner at Dr. Khaled's. Jamil wrote a response to Aida. He told him that he is free. This is an opinion, and he expresses it on his page. Just like Islam, their ideas are in larger numbers, and their ideas, from our point of view, are poisoned and disastrous. He also expresses his opinion. If you do not like his opinions, make it easy for him. As for the topic of leaving his job, he is coming. On social media, you are committing a logical fallacy, which is personalization. And he has something of his own. He responded to his proposal with a counter-proposal, but resorting to personalization would be the inability to respond to the proposal. I wrote 2 objects, meaning I saw them veiled in supermarkets in America and Europe, and no one spoke to them. With your safety, do you still want to prevent him in Muslim countries? Jamil also responded to her and told her that this is not a Muslim country. This is a country for all people, regardless of their religion. Egypt is 7,000 years older than Islam. Finally stayed. Oh my God, the view is not sweet. Muhammad Rifat responded to Dr. Khaled Montaser and said to him, Don't get rid of these dialogues, Professor Khaled, and see you something else to eat with. You're big on the job. Abu Shilin, you have many types of topics so that directors do not limit you to one template. You are talented, but try to increase your talent by studying. Dr. Khaled. He responded to him and said to him, Look, don't you worry about it. Her name is Polishing with Phonemes. Hind Al-Qadi Limit. I wrote that it is his right that the employee must confirm the identity of the person she will hire. Any financial action. She also has words and fatwas. Should her face be seen, he and the one on the card, or not? Dr. Khaled responded to her and told her, This is above the law. Naeem wrote in clubs, and the Carnehats exchanged them through their children and entered. Dr. Khaled responded that she reached the monument in the Tannins as well. Abir Munir wrote correctly, Do the teams whose pictures are in the national number remain with the niqab or without? Dr. Khaled responded to it by the player without the union alone. This means that it is normal for anyone to see the card of one of them and see her picture to be exposed. But the strange thing is that it is not possible to reveal the prestige of those with minds in the comfort of Adele. The picture was published by the College of Pharmacy in the past. He wrote, Oh, your loss, O Faculty of Pharmacy. So they passed by, and she told him, I will get you one. Be it, he tells you that there are 4 veiled women in all this picture. Iman al-Sakka responded and said, Of course, I do not need to say that he is against concealing one's identity, and the niqab is used in situations that are not correct. But I have a simple question. At the time of Corona, it was forbidden to enter without a mask. What is the difference between the niqab and the niqab? Sameh Muhammad answered her, saying to her, the niqab is a black tent that you cannot distinguish from, even if it is a man. Ahmed wrote that they were taking off our masks so we could withdraw. Do we withdraw money? Mary, I wrote that the mask was being said and ordered like this anywhere. Shireen wrote, the medical worker stole the owner of the house's card and went into the bank wearing a niqab to steal from the people of the house. Is that okay? That's it then. Dr. Khaled responded to it, we do not die, we die, and the niqab lives. Nabil wrote that revealing pain is forbidden. Bank money usury is halal, halal, halal. Dr. Khaled responded to him and told him this is a click, and this is what we read. Ahmed wrote, I will die of anger. I really can't. I want to read a little about the science of brainwashing and how it works. What did Nabil write? Make her afraid of a pharmacy? Originally, you are supposed to sell incense or swim. Marwa wrote what is taken as such, entitlement remains salvation. Abir wrote, the same situation happened in front of me in a post office, and we were disrupted and delayed because of her brain unit, ZD. Her head and 1,000 swords were not Torish, and the employee's torch told her, what am I? It proves to me that you are the one on the card, except when I see doubt, and the second is forever. A. Only our Lord Joseph knew that day, writing now, you be labeled enemy of Islam. The enemy of God and the implementation of the American Zionist plan, what Sonny Boz, a Hindu Damietta, is against the believer's faith. I wrote Dr. Khaled, aren't you right? The bank employee must have been running, picking up the carpet and praying 2-inch rak'ahs because she is in front of a symbol of chastity and purity. Ahmed wrote the origin of A. She is supposed to take off the niqab imposed on a gate. Electronic bank, we enforce a gang that entered the bank. The niqab took place at various times, and at 0 o'clock they gathered and carried out an armed robbery in Fiari. I wrote once that I was in the bank, and Al-Ali was also there, and she was a veiled woman and wanted to cash a check, and the employee asked to see her face. She got up and told her, okay, come and go to the bathroom, and I and all the employees waited for what she got up. I went to the bathroom and came back 1 to 4 hours. Holiday. This talk was years before electronic systems did, and we were standing in queues. It was written when we were wearing masks. I went to the National Bank, and the employee asked me to remove the mask, seconds to confirm my personality. This is a natural request. How will you confirm my personality? I find books, and what do people say? The poverty in our country is poverty, which has come to us for a while. When will we raise our minds and deal with each other? Treating brown people, not treated like a monster? And Amy Spray wrote that she is the origin of the veiled, strict woman who entered the bank. Who's he from? This means revealing the face of the employee to make sure that you are the card holder is forbidden, and what you call usury and forbid it, you threw it behind your back, forbidding it and analyzing it according to your mood. What you like is permissible, and what you do not like is forbidden. What is lack of principle? Ibrahim al-Rifai wrote, people think they are above the laws, seeing them as safety and security. It does not apply to her, and the strangest thing is that the state directed him to return with logic. Many of this means that there must be a woman in order to take off the niqab, a state within the state, and someone comes out to us. He tells you that this is freedom and must be respected, and it is impossible for these people abroad to use this method of intellectual terrorism and complete compliance with the rules of the country in which they are. On the other hand, Karim Jahin published this photo, and this news makes Al-Azhar wonder, denouncing why the world did not respond to the cries of women and children in Palestine and Lebanon. Are there mutual strategic interests with this terrorist entity? Or is the universal conscience dead? So Karim Jahin, Al-Omar explained and wrote a comment on this news. Dear Sheikh of Al-Azhar, allow me to answer you. Sorry for my harsh words. Yes, there are common interests between the world and Israel. if the entire Arab world disappears from the ocean to the Gulf, the world will not lack anything, neither in arts, technology, medicine, industry, agriculture, inventions, or energy. Because they are the ones who extract it from the Arab world, and even terrorism will disappear. The hatred and 1,000 refugees fleeing backwardness, injustice, and poverty in the Arab world, and aid students, on the contrary, remained if Israel leads the world in most modern technologies, and its national income is more than 22. An Arab country, Amr Fahmy wrote, "Glory be to God." Suddenly, Bayush al-Qaeda, Taliban guerrilla mujahideen, ISIS soldiers, Ansar Bait al-Maqdis, Al-Aqsa brigades, Al-Nusra Front, and thousands of jihadist organizations disappeared under mysterious circumstances the only time they came together with all their energy and weapons. Meeting to support our Egyptian army in Sinai. Cairo 24 published this news to check on their families. Vodafone provides international calls and roaming to and from Lebanon for free. Dr. Khaled Montaser. This news was published by Laila Abdel Latif, who decides the winner of the African Super Cup. He wrote, God willing, she expects the result of the Super Cup match, and she did not know how to predict the fate of her country. As a result of the Israel-Hezbollah match, Rajab wrote to him, "Are you trying to earn your living like you, Khaled? You take money for your sedition posts, and she takes money for views on the controversy you do, and she is successful in it, as evidenced by the fact that you talked about her role, and the rest depends on what is valid in medicine or secularism. If someone talks to you rational words, know a little, and you will abound from it on the basis that you burn it like this while you are tired. May God reveal you." Dr. Khaled soon answered him, "But I pay in euros. The Freemason is charged in dollars, a big difference. Can I use this in the topic sent to Mickey Allah magazine?" He then asked, "How does one succeed in secularism? Tell me. I've been trying and don't know. Important is to write books. You decide, you don't imagine, for example, you expect or you think. Aren't you deciding? Do I like deciding?" He reminds me of Sadat. May God have mercy on him, because every year had the name of a decisive factor, the factor of the Green Revolution, the factor of the Administrative Revolution, the year of prosperity. Thus, Nermel wrote that I liked in it everything that said something that looked like the African Cup of Nations. Saeed Qutb predicted Al-Ahli's defeat in the African final, and even specified that one of Al-Ahli's players would score an own goal. Al-Ahli won the championship. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel and ring the bell. You are not all new, and share with us comments. Thanks to all the fans and followers. Thank you.